Hello, cock. What the fuck? Get off my fence, you bloody shit!
The see-through afro. For some of us, this is our biggest insecurity when it comes to our hair. If you've ever wondered why your hair looks thinner than you would like, or you'd like to bring back some of that fullness, this is the video for you. Igama lang nomkhele, mother of crowns, and welcome back to my channel. Now, as you can see, there is a lot khanaaning here. Let's not talk about it. Life is hectic. Hey, even this video, I don't know if it's going to make it in time for posting schedule, because I had to re-record the video because the one that I filmed at my siblings at my sister's place. Yeah, no, I filmed that shit in a rush. Like, I was just about to come here to Braz, and I was not. I was very difficult to follow in that video, so I decided, you know what, I need to re-record this on me. But anyways, before we dive in, grab yourself a notepad. I'll ask you some questions along the way, and you want to jot down which of the habits you recognize in your routine. Let's dive in.
Welcome to the gallery of dreams, where creativity's hues amuse. I move, where colors sway, dreams and spirits, twilight tenders embrace. Out of the blue.
Heat damage. When my afro was at its most transparent, I was blow drying my hair every single wash day, because that's just how I thought hair was done. And I don't know, it was just the method of stretching that I was taught. Now, if I want to stretch my hair nowadays, it's braids, it's twists, it's African threading, Benny and Betty, whichever side. It just depends on how stretched I want my hair to be nowadays. Now see, what I actually prefer when it comes to braids, Benny and Betty, twists, and all of that is that I get to control how much I want my hair to be stretched. Like, if I want a looser stretch, I'll go for twists. Like, if I just want like a little, 60% stretch, that's twists. If I'm looking for like a slightly higher stretch, like maybe 70%, let's say 40% stretch, that's twists. If I'm looking for a slightly higher, like bigger stretchage, I'm gonna go for braids, and then if I want like full blown blowout kind of stretching, Benny and Betty is my go-to method. And the reason I prefer these nowadays as opposed to blow drying is because, funny enough, they kind of actually take less time. First of all, second of all, they don't leave my hair like dry and unmoisturized. I can moisturize my hair as I'm putting them into these stretching styles. And then secondly, I can keep in the stretching style for as long as I'd like to. On the other hand, blow drying does not even last that long. Like, that's the other thing. Blow drying your hair to stretch it is at what cost? It's not like it's not going to shrink by day 2 anyways. It is going to shrink. Let's be so for real. At least if your hair is healthy, if it's not heat trained, it will shrink by day 2. So like, either way, I prefer going for like less heat methods, rather use tension than heat in this case. Blow drying in tiny sections is not for me. But also, if you regularly use a flat iron and you consider yourself a straight natural, first of all, I don't even know why you're on this video. I don't even know why you're here. I'm kidding. It's a joke. But you have traded your afro for heat damage, and you have like 3 options from here. A. Protein treatments, prayer, and abstinence from heat for at least a year. B. If that doesn't work for you, it's big chop next, or slowly grow out the damaged ends. C. Continue to delude yourself into believing your hair isn't damaged. It's just heat trained, and continue frying your hair. No one can stop you, not even me. Most people won't notice anyways, and you can stop watching this video right here if you want to continue deluding yourself. So me personally, I only flat iron my hair about once a year, because high porosity hair and heat damage, quick, fast, easy friends, quick, fast, in a hurry. If you're using an afro pick, an afro comb to detangle, it's like using a chainsaw for a manicure. Just complete overkill. The pick tears through your strands, causing breakage from root to tip. Essentially, what I'm saying here is that an afro pick is a styling tool, not a detangling tool. So instead, section your hair, mist it with water, and then use a slip-rich leave-in. Me personally, I prefer. Wait, let me get her for you. Give me a moment, this. Combo it with this. As you can see, I'm clearly using these. Prefer to use my Ntando Naturals flaxseed gel and hair oil to detangle my hair first, and then let it dry in braids or twists, and then I pick it out. And you kind of like, when you're picking your hair, like I said, it is a styling tool. You use that like to volumize it, like to put it out in the direction you want your fro to be moving in. Me personally, I find even at this length, the most optimal number is 6 and above. 6 sections. Put your hair in like about 6 sections, and then you go in with, you know, either with flaxseed gel or whatever it is that you have on you. Slip rich, leave-in, whatever it is. Alright, slip rich, leave-in, conditioner, moisturizer, whatever it is you have. And you want to finger detangle or use a wide tooth comb or a tangle teaser. My personal favorite detangling tool of my choice. Don't judge me, by the way. Hey, my personal favorite detangling tool of my choice is my hands over here, non-negotiable, and my I like to use my hands and my detangling comb. Also, I am so sorry that you have to see me doing my hair throughout this video. I do not have time to make a video and also get my hair ready for school. Hey, schedule is not schedule, man. In the very beginning of this video, I show this guy who is going in at his hair. Got a whole ass, hey, not to like diss on this nigga's hair, but he's got a whole shadow, a whole halo in his hair from just picking at it. Picking. That's where that damage came from. I can tell you that for sure. And you can tell the damage came straight from picking his hair, because the damage starts from his mid shafts, like from here, and then the rest of it becomes like a little halo. Like from up here, it's a halo, and then from here, it's just mid shaft breakage, because he is using his afro comb as a detangling tool. That's just one of the reasons that his hair is damaged, I'm assuming. Nah, it is one of the reasons. The other reason is because he does not trim his ends. Let me tell you this, trimming your ends is very, very important. Split ends do not disappear. Instead, what happens is they continue to split all the way up the shaft of your hair shaft and create more splits until the shaft of your hair just eventually weakens and just continues to break and break and break and break. And the thing about split ends, especially when you've got curly or coily hair, is that along the way, our hair loves to mingle. It loves to mingle together and make friends. So split ends, they find other strands of hair that are like usually healthy, and then they bring them into their little broken home of, not broken homes, but their little broken clan of just broken hair, and they just tangle other hairs that would have been otherwise been healthy. So really, if you do not want to have a see-through afro, trim your ends every once in a while, give them a little snip here and there, and you'll be good. You'll be Gucci. Do you have a dream of Kelly going to raindrops? Dry on the Saharan desert. Split ends are no joke. If you think you're saving length, every snag and every knot weakens the strand further, and over time, that one strand becomes 10, and that 10 becomes your whole head, and you just have a head full of weak hair that is slowly but surely dying because you refuse to cut off the split ends, and your hair will cut yourself off if you don't. My rule, me personally, is trim your hair, your ends, at least twice a year, so about an inch or less, and that kind of preserves thickness and health. When was your last trim? If you don't remember, it's been too long. My love, do you ever dream of? No shrinkage, no afro. Simply put, that is the reality. If you're prioritizing stretch, ensuring you got length, you're not looking for an afro. Or you don't accept your afro as it is. And your afro doesn't accept you either. So it's going to show you that it's not there. It won't be there for you. If you're not there for your afro, it's not going to be there for you either. You know? Shrinkage is your best friend when it comes to creating a fro. The best, most opaque fro actually is an 100% shrinkage. There be dense as hell. Dense as motherfucking hell. No light passing through that. So, sorry, let me stop swearing. But shrinkage is your best friend. If you stretch your hair to the max and never let it coil back, you lose that natural poof. Aim for at least like 60% shrinkage every wash day if you're going for an afro, that is. If you stretch your hair about all the way through to like 100%, like this much, and you're expecting an afro, you blew out your hair, or whatever, playing games, you won't get that cloud-like density or structure. When you overstretch your hair, you don't get an afro, instead you get a fluffy silk press, with a side of unrealistic expectations. Don't get me wrong, a fluffy silk press is not fugly or anything. I love me a fluffy silk press, you know, but a fluffy silk press does not block out all light. The coils and the curls, those create the fro. No coils, no curls, no fro. Now, another thing to factor in as to why your afro might be a little see-through, it is full-on see-through, is hair density.
Hair density is the number of follicles you have per square inch on your skull. You can have thick strands but still have low density, meaning you have fewer strands on your head overall. Or you can have fine strands and have a higher density, which can make your hair look big and full. A lot of people tend to confuse these two. They say, my hair is so thick. But what they really mean is the individual strand is fat. Meanwhile, someone else might say their hair is thin when they actually have high density, but these strands are soft and fine. So when your afro looks see-through, it might not be breakage. It might just be the natural hair density that you were born with, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you still deserve to know how to style your hair for your density.
The best way to find out if it is a thing that you are doing versus something that is just part of your genetic makeup is to see the difference between your hair from the roots. The hair from the roots versus the hair towards the ends. So if you notice that your hair from the roots drastically thins out towards the end, that is something that you were doing wrong. However, if your hair from the roots all the way down to the ends is kind of around the same thickness as the hair towards the end, then it's genetics. That's something you cannot do anything about.
Some of us naturally have low density, and that's not something to fix. It's something to work with. What you can control is how healthy your scalp is. Decide your scalp. Cleanse regularly. Avoid styles that inflame your follicles. Tight styles. A healthy scalp creates the best possible environment for whatever density you've got. And honestly, a well-shaped, well-moisturized, low-density afro can still eat every single time. Do not compare your crown to someone else's. Comparison is the thief of joy. Now, listen. Me personally, I do not have the thickest hair on the planet, but I love my hair, and my hair loves me too, and it looks great on me. One of my friends, just an eighth of the hair he's got on his head is the amount of hair I have on my head as a whole. What is that? Genetics, most likely. And you know, sometimes you just have to accept what you've been given, otherwise you'll be fighting a fight you'll never win.
Anyways, I hope you found this video informative or helpful. If there's anything that I might have left out in this video, please put it down in the comments below. I will be reading those, and thank you for tuning in. I love reading your comments. Like, honestly, if it wasn't for you guys' comments, I would probably have given up a long time ago. I suddenly do not feel like I'm just talking to myself. In any case, I will see you guys in the next video. Ciao.
Feature requests, yes. I've been running through the city with my bros, keep 100 for the cops and a Glock for the foes. Everybody hungry, everybody knows that the little that we got, gotta split it with the bros. But it won't be like this forever, no, soon enough. Gonna be all bad bitches in my phone, soon enough. Fucking car tires when we hit the road, making sure when I spin back on the block, they gon' know.